beautiful souls, welcome to another pick a card reading. I'm Lexi from the Spiritual Social. I'm a tarot reader and an astrologer, your local light worker. I'm super happy to have you here tonight with me, the special midnight session, which I had to park towards the end of the day because it's so hot during the day in Bucharest that I would be sweating buckets if I were to film my clips during the daytime. Maybe you guys have heard on television we are experiencing in Europe a really severe heat wave. Unfortunately, it's also messing with our crops and food and irrigation capacities. So we're all going to have to be a little bit more stoic in the coming period, which is very in tune with the energy of the growing new moon in Leo, opposed by Saturn in Aquarius. But tonight's reading is not going to be about those energies. I am preparing a specific reading / astrological clip about the Lionsgate portal, which is coming up quite soon. In tonight's reading, I wanted to honor a subscriber's request. One of this channel's guardian angels, Nilufer, suggested that I do a reading on what are your dreams trying to tell you. I've been receiving countless messages on Instagram from you guys where you guys were describing your dreams and weird symbols and like these kind of nightmarish situations that woke you up in the middle of the night and you don't know what they are related to. So I just thought, since Neptune is in Pisces, causing all this creative unconscious mayhem during our moments of sleep, I just thought we would tap into this energy tonight and do some dream interpretation. And I wanted to give you 3 unique choices as well. So instead of crystals or other types of objects, I thought I would give you a story, a book to choose from. So I have here for group 1, this book is called Written in the Stars, and it is about constellations, facts, and folklore. It is written by Alison Davis. So this is your choice, group 1. Magic sits in the stars. Let this book be your guide. Okay, so this is for you. For group 2, I have one of the most beautiful stories ever written. It's also quite short and deeply touching, The Soul Bird. It's advertised as a children's book, but I think it's a book for anyone who has a soul or is willing to discover it, get in touch with it. So it's written by Michal Snunet. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. And it's just a beautiful journey of getting more in touch with that part of ourselves that matters the most. And for group 3, a book that I actually purchased last year when we had a new moon in Virgo. I began reading it and I only read the first 2 chapters and then I put it to the side. And for the life of me, I don't know what happened. I couldn't go back and actually reread it. And I picked it up last week and oh my god, it's so fitting with everything that I've been going through in the last 2 months. And reading it, it's almost like giving me clues as to what kind of energy I should tap into. Maybe this has happened to you guys. You know, you start reading a book and you put it to the side and then maybe a couple of years or months later you pick it up again and you're a little bit astounded as to how the themes of the book, the sentences, the symbols that appear in the book resonate so strongly with the current situation. It's almost like Spirit said, purchase this book or get it, but leave it for when the time is ready, and I will give you the mood to read it when you are ready to uncover the adventure, when it would make sense to your soul. Or maybe that's just a weird nerdy girl thing, because I love reading books and I feel so connected to writers and to the written printed word. So for you, group 3, sorry for the long introduction, I have here Circe, the book written by Madeline Miller, and it's a treat to read. I highly recommend it. She has such a beautiful way with words and the story is fantastic. So these are the 3 options that I have here in front of you. Take a moment now to see which one pulls you in the most, and if you've made your choice, I do have tarot and oracle cards at your pile. I actually have quite a lot of decks, 7 of them. They are neatly stacked over here. I will live shuffle from the tarot deck, and I'm going to show you the pre-shuffle, pre-selected oracle cards. All the decks are linked in my description box below or in the comment section as well. You can have a look at them. And yeah, all this being said, please remember to like, subscribe, and support this channel in whichever way you can, so I can keep making these videos for you guys. I'm too excited. I want to see what messages come through. So let's cut the short. Let's get to what are your dreams trying to tell you. Hey group 1, hello my loves. I'm so happy to have you here with me for your dream reading. Tonight we're going to find out what your dreams are trying to tell you. And this is for those of you that were drawn to this book, Written in the Stars. So maybe those of you that were drawn to this book were Sagittarius, Libras, Gemini potentially as well, Aquarians, Pisces. That's kind of what I'm picking up on. You have a cosmic mentality. You like to think of the future. You're very progressive. So I have here your pre-selected oracle cards, but I'm going to live shuffle from the Mystical Dream Tarot. And as I'm doing this, please remember to give this video a thumbs up so it can be distributed to a wide variety of people that might love to hear these messages. Comment down below and let me know what is going on in the stuff of your dreams, if it resonates with this reading. And also remember to subscribe, because every time that you guys subscribe, our family grows, and I'm able to give you at each milestone that we reach a free giveaway reading. Okay, so take advantage. Now let's see. Okay, so let me show you the tarot cards. We have here the Spirit of Cups. You see a woman cocooned in this fetus-like position or fetal position, and you see a butterfly. You could be dreaming about caves, going inside trees. We call that scorbura in Romanian, but the English word escapes me at the moment. It's kind of like when you dig a hole inside a tree, or there is one already freshly made. Some trees have those cracks inside of them, right? And you just go within and hide there. You could be having dreams of being a baby and being inside your mother's womb. Most of these dreams that are connected to an environment that's highly protective and you are the vulnerable one are connected to that pre-birth stage of your life. When you were a child, you were soul getting ready to be fully incarnated, but you weren't yet out of the womb, right? Like maybe a fetus at around 6 months and 2 weeks or something like of that nature, right? So you could be having these dreams where you're in cozy environments. Some of you could fall asleep in this position. Some of you could dream of butterflies, different colors, different sizes. I'm getting a feeling that some of you could dream about this gigantic creature that has wide wings, and it looks like a butterfly for some of you. It looks like a raven for others, like some sort of angelic or demonic creature. I'm getting also the energy that you could dream about fairies or witches from stories. There is something quite Disney-like about some of the dreams of the people that actually chose this group. Like you might dream a fairy tale story. The characters in your dreams could be strongly like the ones that appeared in stories. Some of you maybe grew up with the tales of Brothers Grimm or Hans Christian Andersen, or you grew up with all sorts of like, maybe you got read from Shakespeare, A Midsummer Night's Dream. There's a feeling here that some of you grew up with fairy tales, like Celtic fairy tales. I feel that the world inside your imaginary is populated with symbols of Anglo-Saxon culture, Nordic culture, like dwarves and fairies and like witches and castles and like medieval broken down castles and Celtic cross symbols, and there's a lot of woodland imagery, woodland creatures, dark woods. There's just a feeling that you might be dreaming of all of those things. Some of you could be dreaming pearls or liquids, or that you are somehow floating in this kind of liquid and there are gigantic balls or pearls coming around you, because you see how she is surrounded by these pearls. So this is as much information as I can get from just the first card. Bear with me, we have a lot to go. I have here as well the Dream Chariot and the Moon Chariot, sorry. For some reason, some of you, I think, could be feeling as if your dreams, whenever you start dreaming quite deeply in that REM phase, I feel like you imagine as if you're in a bobsleigh and you're sliding down a mountain, or that the dream is kind of like putting you in this first-person perspective where it looks like you're driving a very fast car. And I'm sorry I'm making these movements, but I see this first-person kind of view, and it's like you're just trapped in your dream and everything happens very fast, or things are coming at you very fast as you're just sliding forward. So some of you could be having such dreams that are very quick and intense. I think those of you that have Aries in the 12th house could be having these fast dreams, and some of you that have this placement in your natal chart could wake up with mild migraines or like pressure in your temples when you wake up. Some of you that have chosen this group also grind your teeth while you sleep. It's an interesting thing because I do that as well. Yeah, so that's called bruxism. And sometimes you need a mouth guard, so you need to sleep with a mouth guard to protect the integrity of your teeth. But I see here a person that is very active in their dreams. So in your dreams, I have a feeling that most of you, you're quite active, as I felt it here as well. It's like you begin in this environment where you're cocooned and vulnerable, and then it's kind of like adventure time, you know, you burst forth and you just go on this wonderful adventure. If you hear something in the background, it's just my cat Luna playing because it's midnight and she has her zoomy time. So I can't control that. She's a cat, she's awake at night, so we're just gonna have to bear it, but she's very sweet at the same time. And usually she interrupts or she does things at key points in the reading, so I've kind of started to learn from her cues. So the fact that we heard a jingle could mean that you have very audio-visual dreams. So you could be hearing songs in your mind, or you could wake up from your dreams and you have that earworm, right? So it's a song that keeps playing in your mind obsessively, and it's like, I can't get this out of my mind. What is the universe trying to tell me? Well, it's your unconscious telling you that there is something important in the rhythm of that song, in the lyrics of that song. There's a deep need that you need to fulfill, and that song is pointing towards that desire, towards that need inside of you that needs to be fulfilled. So if you ever have an earworm, the song that keeps repeating in your mind on a loop as soon as you wake up from a dream, pay attention to it. Wake up and listen to it. Usually when you wake up and you listen to it, it does exactly the opposite. It stops you from obsessively thinking about it. So I would strongly recommend that if you're obsessed about something, just go and do it and it will quench the obsession. Don't do illegal things, yeah? Okay, just do things that are good for you, like listening to that song. Because the conscious mind has met the content of the unconscious and they became whole, so the obsession dies down. So I have a feeling that you guys could receive messages through songs in your dreams. I have a feeling that some of you could actually dream about team sports, like you're, as I said, you're emerging as a child, you're being given birth, and you're on this adventure. And in this adventure, I feel like you could climb into a bobsleigh or just a normal sleigh in winter's time, or you could climb into a car and you're driving around with other people, or you're part of a kayaking team, you know, and as you need to put like a couple of people in a kayak, there's usually 3 or 4 if I'm not mistaken. And it's kind of like there's a team that has a vehicle that needs to move towards a specific goal. I have a feeling most of you dream of that. So you have these team group dreams or vehicle dreams. Okay. Okay, interesting. And then the final tarot card that I have here, well, this is called the Wise Fox, which, if I'm not mistaken, Janet Piedilato, the one who designed this deck, actually linked it to some sort of Germanic folk tale, the Wise Fox, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly the description from the booklet, but there is something here connected to a folk tale. Anyway, if you guys are familiar with it, comment down below and let all of us know. I'm not going to reach out for my booklet and read from it because I don't know, I don't feel the need to do it. I'm just going to follow Spirit's guidance to encourage you to participate, and comment down below. Let us know, do you know this folktale, the Wise Fox? What could this card pertain to? We have a cherub here as well. We have this red animal, again a woodland creature, and we have this maiden dancing with the deaf. I have a feeling that some of you might have read Bertolt Brecht. Some of you are really into the drawings of Albrecht Dürer, and even Hieronymus Bosch, both the elder and the younger. There is a feeling here that you could be attracted to Germanic culture for some reason. Some of you could actually be born German and you're here. Hello. And I just have a feeling that, I don't know, maybe the culture fascinates you, or you find some sort of like-minded values or ideas. Some of you are really into the teachings of Immanuel Kant as well. Whoa, I'm getting a really intelligent group here. But it's just a feeling that it could be that in your dreams, you're also reenacting or putting into action some of the abstract concepts that you are learning during your waking hour. I mean, all of us do that. I'm not saying something phenomenal here. I might be pointing towards the obvious, you know, but bear with me. I feel that you need to do this in order to learn. In the learning process, I feel that most of you that chose this group, it's kind of like the learning process doesn't complete unless you dream about the things you study during the day. So if you guys are taking a course now, if you're studying towards a degree, if you're writing your PhD or your master's thesis or your dissertation, I feel that you guys are preparing an essay, you know, you want to pass a class or something in order to get more credits. I feel like you guys absorb information throughout the day, but it doesn't make sense or sink in until you actually have a dream where, for example, you imagine yourself taking a walk in a car, taking a walk in a forest, or being in the car with philosophers like Immanuel Kant, and talking to Kant about his ideas as you are driving, or as you are in a bobsleigh, or as you are moving. So there is a feeling here that you need to put abstract ideas into movement in your dreams in order to have them make sense for you. It's kind of like you're taking those Platonic walks. I think Plato had that idea of, you know, when debating philosophical ideas, they sink in and they make more sense when you walk, when you talk and walk. And I completely agree with that, because I'm a moon in Sagittarius and I do get quite philosophical, and the best ideas come to me when I travel and when I move my body. So again, Sagittarius 12th house, Aries 12th house, or you could have certain planets in the 12th house like Jupiter or Mars that could bring this energy forth towards you from that point of view. But there is a beautiful energy here about you are attracted to family-oriented themes, but also the macabre. I feel like you guys really like magic realism, and like the stories of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, for example. There's so many cultural references coming up in this reading today. I really love the fact that thank you for the subscriber that requested this reading. You know, it's such a good idea to do it. But at the same time, I feel there is a theme here of vulnerability as well. There is some sort of maternal complex, something that might have happened to you at birth. Maybe your mother told you as you were growing up that she had a traumatic birth with you, that something happened to you. Maybe you were a preemie, right? So a premature born child. and you know, she might have felt very scared about your chances of survival. Maybe something happened, like you were one of those babies that was born with feet first, which is a really painful kind of birth. Or you could have had the umbilical cord tied around your throat. That happens sometimes, you know, as the baby's trying to make its way out of the womb. Sometimes the umbilical cord can get jammed. So there is something here that happened, and there is a certain guilt that unconsciously you haven't yet processed. It's not like you don't like your mother or that you're arguing. Maybe some of you have this kind of tension with your mother, but it's like consciously you're okay. You understood what happened. Well, this is what happened. My mother told me this, but we survived, you know, and we're okay today. But there's still that unconscious guilt, and confirmation, and it's playing out in your dreams. So if you're having dreams where you're punching through things, or you're being punished, or there are these skeletons coming out of the closets to kind of like attack you, it's connected to that feeling of guilt. Because when you feel guilty, you feel like you need to be punished, or you feel like you're vulnerable, like there are things and people out to get you, because it's almost like you have a dark cloud over your head, and you're like, well, I did something that I shouldn't have. I hurt somebody. Now what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be hurt? Am I going to be punished? So that's the element of guilt. It gives you like this fear of being persecuted. And if you don't believe me, ask Scorpios, okay? Like guilt is the mother load of feelings, that they are like the king crown of emotions that they most of the time feel or try to run away from feeling. You could be a Scorpio, by the way, or you could be a Scorpio moon, Scorpio ascendant. I can completely identify because I have Pluto and Scorpio in the first house retrograde, so I'm not a Scorpio, but I feel like one. So there is a feeling here. I mean, yeah, this is the death card, right? And we also have here Cancer energy, Cancerian energy as well. Mother, connection to the homeland, to your cultural roots, to your ancestors, to your bloodline, to everything that makes family or represents family to you, but especially that link that exists between a child and the body from where the child came from, which is usually the mother. Nowadays, you know, they can make babies in the laboratory as well, in an artificial womb. So that's why I'm keeping the conversation open. Lots of interesting things might happen with reproductive things in the future. But more of that in another video. Now I want to show you your oracle cards, because I'm aware that this reading is already 16 minutes long and I haven't showed you your oracle cards. Your dream guardian is one of the emanations from the Sephirot, the tree of life in the Jewish Kabbalah, this mystical text that talks about energies and flows and how you can unite better with the grace of God. So you got Chokhmah. And Chokhmah is, you see her beautifully represented here. This is the deck called Angelarium. I absolutely love it. We have here the right eye of the tree of life, which is the emanation that leads one to wisdom, to integrate painful feelings and painful experiences into wisdom. So I feel that you are this kind of person that learns a lot from your dreams. Your dreams are so connected to your sense of well-being. And I feel like you guys take a lot of that veil, or a lot of the information that come to you from the world beyond the veil, because when we sleep we connect with the 5D very easily. We are in the world beyond the veil, but you're able to extract information from it and you have fun trying to decipher it. So I don't feel like you're afraid of your dreams, but I do feel like most of the times you're waking up thinking like, what the F was that? You know, and I have a feeling sometimes some of you could wake up because you're grinding your teeth too strongly and your jaw hurts, or because you're jolted out of your dream. Because most of you, if you have dreams in moving vehicles, sometimes they also crash. Yeah, sometimes they also smash into a tree or into a wall and you just wake up because of the tension, right? Now, I also have here from the Starseed Oracle, the golden children, and the keywords are inner child, tenderness, innocence, Rare gifts. I mean, these two cards speak so beautifully one to the other, right? You are doing some deep inner child healing in your sleep, and it is connected to that deep feeling of guilt regarding something that happened between you and your mother. It might not have been a traumatic birth. Maybe you just have a difficult relationship with your mother who withholds affection from you. So while you sleep, you heal, you receive that maternal nurturance. Your unconscious mind, the domain of the moon, is giving you, is feeding you. So you guys need to sleep a lot in order to heal. Yeah, it's really important for you. And especially if you had an argument with your mother or you feel mother hunger, go to bed, sleep, put yourself in that childlike position. Make yourself a nice hot glass of milk with some honey, before bedtime, and then fall asleep in your favorite blanket. You need a security blanket. It's very attachment theory, very John Bowlby style what's happening here. I'll proceed. Now we also have here reflections, and this is what you can contemplate, can actualize. So you guys need to be well rested, because while you are conscious, you manifest a lot of the things that appear in your unconscious mind. And if you are not well rested, I feel like this reading is 100% for me, because this happens to me as well. When you are not well rested, you manifest a lot of drama in your life, because your unconscious is not calm and settled. You don't feel grounded, and you just produce drama around you. It's like you exude some sort of nasty energy that could attract people that can be quite nasty with you. While if you rest, you are grounded, you are calm and stable, and you can manifest from a place of security, from a place of, I'm okay, the world is okay. What do I want to do today? It rhymes. We also have here visions. So some of you are psychic and you communicate with members of your family that are long gone. I have here psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out-of-body travel. You're also astrally traveling. So indeed, this card, the Moon Chariot, speaks so beautifully to this card. Astral projection is the idea which was put forth by a lot of our ancestors, especially native tribes. That was pre-scientific understanding of the soul. Although I don't think we have a truly scientific understanding of the soul, and that's where science disappoints us, because we can talk about the brain, the heart, a lot of the things, but can we truly say what a soul is with certainty? Maybe you need to listen to group 2, because they have the soul bird story. Anyway, coming back to this, I feel like you guys are very chatty. You guys love to talk about big ideas. So I'm kind of tapping into that energy, but I feel like, coming back to the astral projection story, it's the understanding that your soul comes out either through your mouth or your belly button, and it travels while your body is left inert in your bed. The soul travels to maybe other spaces, other cosmic places as well. It travels maybe back in time, it travels towards the future. So there's a feeling that the soul can travel on many different dimensions, meeting other souls and actually bringing forth some sort of divine cosmic knowledge. And then it re-enters your mouth or your belly button, and it kind of completes you in a very different way. It brings forth a different awareness to you the moment you wake up. So you can look into that. I think I've also written something about astral projection on my website. I write articles on thespiritualsocial.com. It's linked down below if you want to go and have a look. Now, let's see. I have more cards for you. So from The Secret Art of Fortune Telling, you got Tasseography. And we have here numbers and symbolism. So tasseography is the art of reading fortune or reading the future, projecting about the future in a coffee cup. You can do it with tea leaves, you can do it with the ersatz of coffee, like the grinds, the coffee grinds. But I'm going to read you what it says on the card, because this is a specific aspect of tasseography that appeared in your reading, which is about numbers and symbols. Unlike seeing an animal or object in your cup, numbers usually have a clear meaning to them and signify an amount of time or quantity of something. This is where your storytelling skills come into play. If you see the number 5 on the rim of your cup next to an anchor, this could suggest you'll be receiving good news in 5 days. If you see the number 3 next to a baby, this could predict that you'll have 3 children. It's also important to use your own personal associations with things during your reading. If 7 has always been a lucky number for you and you see a 7 in your mug, it could mean that good luck is coming your way. If you have 4 family members, seeing a 4 in your cup could be about them. So when you see 4 and you know that you come from a family of 4 people, it could be a sign that your family is thinking about you. Yeah. So just as a wink, as a side note. Now let's see the other symbols that have appeared. We have here magic, and I think this relates to you. You are magical, group 1, but also you dream a lot about magical symbolisms, right? I did mention at the beginning that you could have these fairy tale, like these Disney, like these Harry Potter, like King Arthur, you know, and the Knights of the Round Table kind of energies. You could be dreaming about witches, and everything that you are exposed to during your waking hours visually, especially fantasy related things, appear to you in your dream state. Shift your focus to a positive view. We are all interconnected, linked by a magical thread. Believe in yourself. You have magic in you. So you could have these escapist tendencies. You could have a lot of planets, a stellium, a cluster of planets in the 12th house, or you could be Piscean. You could have maybe your moon, your ascendant, your sun conjunct Neptune, which kind of gives you this otherworldly glow, this tendency to escape from the harsh reality around you. It also makes you highly creative, fertile, imaginative, soft, and sensitive, and psychic. These are all the characteristics that describe the magical 12th house, that place where we let go, where we forgive, where we blend our identity with the divine, and thereby we become something other than human. Transhuman experiences kind of go into that area. Now, I also have this card, and it says here leadership. So again, I'm very tempted to say that those of you that have chosen this group could have Mars in the 12th house, Saturn in Aries in the 12th house. Okay, that just came out of left field, but there we go. I said it. Or an Aries 12th house. So you could have a sun in Aries in the 12th house as well. There is a very strong Aries energy coming forth, and I see it here represented with this image of leadership. And this image, this woman, the way she's portrayed, she reminds me of a lot of how I always imagined Boadicea. I don't know if you guys are connected with her, and I pronounced her in the way Latins might pronounce her, or like, you know, Latin folk might pronounce her. Boadicea was like this warrior queen during Roman times. She was Germanic, I believe. I hope I'm not twisting this, but yeah, I do remember her image as being one of those really strong women in history that history remembers because of her bravery, and because she actually had the balls to, or the pussy to stand up to invaders. I'm gonna have to make this 18+. It says here, you are no longer the supporting cast. You are the leading man or woman in your life, just like her. Yeah. Or this is also like Xena Princess Warrior vibes. Yeah. Take the initiative and lead the way for others to follow. You will be judged by the company you keep and those you admire. So be very mindful who you decide to spend your time with, because other people will judge you or cancel you, to use a term that is more fitting with our modern times, based on the people that you exchange information with or collaborate with or work with. So be picky, okay? Discriminate quite well so that others will not discriminate against you. And the final card that I have here, and this is from a German dream oracle that I absolutely love, Traumdeuter. And this one says here, social network. Yeah, so there is a feeling here that a lot of the messages, texts, apps that you're using in your daylight hours are filtering through your nighttime visions. Your dreams could be a really funny mix of you driving in a car, having a conversation with Immanuel Kant, where you're being followed by the Romans and Queen Boadicea trying to attack them, while you are seeing in front of you the scream of your WhatsApp, where your mother could be saying something to you that provokes inner child guilt. Wow, this is a trip. It's like all of the symbols that have appeared so far, and then all of a sudden there is a wizard that comes out, you know, in front of the car and completely makes the WhatsApp conversation disappear and delivers you from evil. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to leave it here. I do think that you should spend less time plugged in and more time resting and sleeping, because as I said, resting and sleeping helps you heal. And I feel that if you see this, if you see this energy, there's a lot of text in German written on the back of this card. That's why I stopped for a moment to try to see if there are any... you're trying to satisfy a need of being connected to your family members through this proxy of social media. So there is a feeling here that there could be some sort of family problems that you are working through in your unconscious nighttime visions. And your dreams are really helping you cleanse yourself of difficult feelings that you could somehow experience in your connection with your family members. So dream a lot, don't be afraid of your dreams, and sleep a lot. Sleep hygiene is really important to you. So that's why you should limit your screen time before bedtime, because it is well documented that looking at a bright screen interferes with your melatonin production, and melatonin is that substance in our brain that we need in order to sleep well. So more daylight, less screen time, sleep, rest, because it heals you of difficult family trauma, especially one incurred in relation to the mom. Okay, so this is what I had for you, group 1. This has been such a long reading. I hope you have enjoyed it and that it was entertaining for you to hear. Thank you so much for listening, and I cannot wait to see my next one. Ciao. Hey group 2, hello my loves, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm so happy that you're here with me tonight for a dream interpretation reading. Tonight in this pickacard we're going to find out what are your dreams trying to tell you. Okay, so this is for those of you that were drawn to this gorgeous book, The Soul Bird. It's such a touching book. I absolutely love it. It's very short as well. Doesn't have that many pages, but it packs a punch. I have a feeling that you could be feeling as if a lot of your parts are compartmentalized, like you can't really fully be yourself, and there might be a sort of process of putting yourself back together that happens to you in your dreams, in your unconscious nighttime visions. Let's see, so I have here your oracle cards, but I'm going to live shuffle from the Mystical Dream Tarot. And as I do so for you, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Please click on the notifications, because I noticed that a lot of people are not getting notified, and I have been putting out a lot of videos in the last period. Also, make sure you comment down below and let me know what your dreams are. Do they resonate with what you're going to hear in this reading today? And of course, make sure to subscribe, because our family is growing, and as we are growing, we're also celebrating. So every time we reach a milestone, I give you guys a free giveaway reading. So take advantage of that, okay? So let's see. You got 2 cards. We have here the Lady of Swords. This is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. I think I might need to make this 18+, because you guys are having dreams about breasts, okay? And I feel that sometimes this is a bit weird, but it's like you're reaching towards breasts, or breasts are floating in front of your eyes, or it's like if a woman appears in your dream, it's mostly the breasts that appear, and her voice is somewhere around here. There is some sort of oral fixation with that part of the mother's body. or a woman's body. Oh, I said mother's body. So there is some sort of maternal fixation in that oral stage of development, identified by Freud and Piaget and a lot of psychologists that are looking at child development studies. And that oral phase has to do a lot with codependency. So attaching yourself to the mother who is the nourisher, and seeing the breasts as this element of, they give me life, they give me force, they give me pleasure and nourishment, energy, right? Because the baby suckles from the mother's breasts, most of them, usually those that actually latch on well, because not every baby in this world has had the, you know, privilege to actually receive mother's milk. I haven't, for example. I received powder milk because I couldn't latch on to my mother, and many other children were like that. But there's a feeling here that, yeah, you received it and you're kind of idealizing it, not in a way in which it makes you be currently consciously obsessed with milk, but there is something here about wanting that type of nourishment, wanting that type of, I'm being both fed and nurtured, and it's warm, you know, next to my mother's bosom, and I'm receiving food and also pleasure and affection at the same time. Because mothers, when they breastfeed, they don't just give you the nourishment, they also give you the affection, because you hold the baby so close to your heart. So that's why breastfeeding is considered to be quite important. So there is a feeling here that either you have a very interesting connection to your own breasts, your own femininity, the idea of motherhood. You could be repelled by that. You could be repelled by the idea of breastfeeding and worried what it might do to your breasts from an aesthetic point of view, but also from how it might change you. Others of you fantasize about that. Others of you, maybe you're men and you're watching this and it's like, oh, breasts, oh my God, you know, they're amazing, because they represent what men usually don't have, and that's why they are so valued. You know how we become obsessed with something that we don't have and we want, right? And usually men fantasize about breasts because that's something that they don't have, right? But not all men are like this. Obviously, a lot of them have attachments to other body parts, and they see them as more valuable in terms of sexual satisfaction. Yeah. So there is a feeling here that I'm also getting the 3, you see, the 3 orbs here. Some of you could be dreaming about flame, fire, watching fire burning, watching buildings burning. Okay, some of you could be dreaming about maternity wards that are burning, volcano eruptions, or running away from buildings that are crumbling in a fire. Some of you are dreaming about climbing very quickly on these dilapidated buildings or trees or all sorts of like weird structures around you, because there is a wave of lava falling through the city or the embankment or the area in which you are trying to run away from. So there is a feeling here that your connection to sexuality and passion is explored very deeply in your dreams, and it's very connected to the body of your mother and how you relate to your own gender and sexuality and your own sexual pleasure. You could be, during daytime, you could be having either an obsession with sucking or licking things or kissing things, or always having something around your mouth. That's the oral fixation thing. Or you could be averse to that. Yeah, so this energy could play out either as a repulsion. It's like, ew, mouth stuff, ew, licking, ew, no, you know, or the idea of giving your partner oral pleasure could feel disgusting to you, while others fully embrace this and you're like, yes, I want more, you know. I feel like a lot of you, even during sex, you could jokingly call your partner your mommy or your daddy, which again pertains to that oral fixation stage in the stages of development. So there is something here. Some of you could be smoking, and others of you could really enjoy drinking as well, which again connects to that ingestion, right? How you take the world in through your mouth. And I have a feeling that the mouth is really significant here. I also feel that a couple of you are earning your living by communicating. Maybe you need to hold presentations, maybe you need to speak, maybe you're teaching, so you use your mouth a lot in speaking with other people and giving indications. There's a lot of like energy around this part that keeps appearing, but there is also the eyes, but the eyes are stony. So the mouth is freed, but the eyes are stony, and they're kind of blocked by these breasts, which is an interesting thing. I'm not getting any message right now as to why the eyes are so stony, but I'm going to continue with reading the cards, and maybe the insight is going to come to me. I'm just 100% honest with you guys. If I see it, I say it. If I don't see it, I'm gonna park it to the side, and if it's relevant, it will come back. So yeah, there is something here about a withholding mother, or mother that does not give you enough or gave you a bit too much, which created this obsession, repulsion energy about the mouth, oral fixation. And it can be both sexualized, but it can also be used in certain repetitive behaviors that you guys are doing in your conscious daytime, which tend to play out in your dreams in this sexualized, milk producing breast thing, but also fire for some reason. Fire here seems to be quite an important thing, like passion that is repressed, sexuality that is heavily controlled, and could come out during your conscious daylight hours as some sort of attraction to you, replacing sexuality with alcohol, or expressing yourself with eating, or saying what is on your mind, or defending yourself through your words. You're replacing it with over smoking, something of that nature. That's what I'm picking up with. We have here as well the Hanged Man. So this is Neptunian energy. It talks about sacrificing something. We see this ball of fire again. A lot of you have dreams about the sun. Maybe dreams with a lot of sunlight suddenly pouring in as you open the curtains on your window and you're looking outside. Some of you could have these apocalyptic dreams where you see the sun exploding, or a desertification, like a quick desertification of a city. Some of you are really influenced by Terminator. There is a scene there where Linda Hamilton is kind of attached to this kind of wired fence, and there's just basically this flow of hot air that just completely melts her skin. It's a bit horror. I remember seeing it when I was very little, and it really impressed me. Come to think of it, I shouldn't have been watching such movies, but my parents were progressive. Yeah, so I have here a lamp. So there's a sweet sense of innocence, purity, maybe an obsession with purity, trying to repress yourself sexually by thinking that it's the right thing to do. You're sacrificing something. You might be sacrificing your lower desires in order to connect more with spirit. But you have to be careful with that divide between spirituality and sexuality, because they're linked. And when you block yourself from sexuality, it's going to be harder for you to feel like you're connected to a higher force. That's what I keep saying in my channel ever since I created it. Spirituality and sexuality are some of the most powerful energies we can use for healing and creativity. Scorpio energy, the 8th house, yeah? So the Hanged Man, on the contrary, talks about another water sign. This is Piscean energy. Again, a highly fertile, highly healing and forgiving energy. But this talks about letting something go rather than controlling it and holding on to it. This is about hanging loose. Some of you could be having these dreams of being a trapeze artist and walking a tightrope, or you could be having these dreams where you're walking on some sort of floor that all of a sudden turns into quicksand and swallows you up, or you're walking on some sort of asphalt tiles that break, or they only form themselves once you put your feet in front. So it's like you're walking on air, and then something creates the land or the platform on which you can walk. So it's kind of bold acts of faith. you are taking a lot of risks and you're putting a lot of trust in the divine in your dreams. You could be dreaming about white animals, or upon waking from such a dream, you could be seeing a lot of white animals, white wolves, white sheep, lambs, white dogs, white cats, white cows. And this is an indication from spirit that it's trying to communicate something to you about the passage of time. Maybe you're procrastinating or something. Maybe you're having a very strong Saturn transit, which is bringing up a lot of karma for you to process. Now, let's see your oracle cards, okay? So we have here Remiel, Angel of Visions. Wow, and I'm getting such a strong activation of my crown chakra because I feel like scratching it. So you guys could be kind of heavily plugged into this reading at the moment, or you might be feeling a little bit tired. Let's see if I can continue to pace it at this rhythm. So we have here Remiel, the Angel of Visions. And this could also be because some of you are getting some really strong downloads right now. In the moment when I had to tell you about the crown chakra, you were getting a download. There is a strong activation here of your intuitive flow, because you see the crescent moon, which is also a symbol of the goddess of witchcraft, Hecate. And I see that it's stapled right to the front of Angel Remiel. So this is about seeing beyond the real. This is about seeing through the matrix, you know. You understand things on an energetic level. You could see people's auras. It's kind of like you're picking up on another dimension. It's like when you're a little bit tired, or when you just woke up, it's like your vision peers through the world beyond the veil, as I like to call it, or the 5D, the world of spirit, if you want to put it in different terms. Remiel is your guide. So you can call upon this angel when you're looking for an intuitive insight, or when you want to get a download, a bolt of inspiration to help you make a decision, or to help you see through the the facade of something. Okay, I wanted to say the BS, but the facade of something feels much more accurate. Somebody's mask as well, you know, somebody's socially created mask. We have here, we are the Hathors, and Hathor is the Egyptian goddess of the home, beauty, fertility, food, nourishment. So again, nourishment, yeah? She is represented by the goddess that has the head of a cow, or usually like a bull. So there's this very beautiful energy that connects her to the earth, to a very calm and peaceful, naturally grazing animal that feeds and sustains whole families. And again, there is the link here to milk, mother's milk, a feeling here of being nurtured, calmed, steadied, and grounded. Yeah, Taurus energy is coming very strongly from this card. Hathor was also the Egyptian equivalent of Venus, or the Nordic equivalent of Freya, if you want to culturally expand this. Yeah, so we have here deep love, the keywords mother's milk, and birth as a portal. You are working through your anxieties of giving birth, of becoming a parent, of witnessing birth. If you're a man watching this, of witnessing birth. There is something deep here about pregnancy, giving birth, transforming your body, becoming a nurturer, having a vulnerable being dependent on you. So it's almost like you are the supportive network of group one. Group one had more this inner child healing, and I'm getting another, wow, strongly, it's itching. I'm trying not to spoil my hairdo for you guys so I can look good for YouTube, but it's really itching, okay? So yeah, again, another download. Thank you, Spirit, for being here. But we have here almost like a support network. You could be the supportive network of group one crew. So please share comments down below and support each other in these beautiful discoveries that we're doing here. Because I have a feeling you're dreaming about the act of birth, and group one was dreaming about being birthed, yeah, being created and brought into this world. Fascinating. Okay, so we also have here Coral's wisdom, and the keywords to this card are colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. And this is the Saturn energy. This is the don't procrastinate, don't give up, keep working, keep toiling. You will find this deep love. You will heal yourself. You will get this connection to the earth, to the ground. Stand tall, be brave, keep moving forward. Yeah. And I feel like in your dreams, again, you could be having these catastrophic dreams where something that is tender, beautiful, and fragile could be easily wiped away by some sort of natural disaster, like I mentioned, fire, or there's something here about lava, the desert fire, desert forest, the military as well. It's kind of like in your dreams, if you are supposed to be a very strong person during daytime and you're like rough and tough and look at me, I'm such a warrior, you know, I'm such a power goddess, power queen, I feel that at nighttime you're dreaming about being fragile, being domestic, being feminine, being taken care of, being served, being this nourishing goddess, right? We, the Hathors, being part of a sisterhood, being part of a group of glamazons. That's what I'm hearing as well. Yeah. So if during the daytime hours you have to go out and, you know, hustle for a living, at nighttime you imagine yourself being part of maybe the beauty community on YouTube, or being like this Yas queen, you know, kind of energy, treating yourself all the time, being also financially wealthy enough to afford every delight and pleasure in this world. So maybe during daytime hours you have to wear like a traditional clothing and you have to look serious and you have to go to work and earn money to pay your bills, and at nighttime you have these dreams of opulence, like you're in a bathtub and there is like milk, goat's milk with honey, like the way Cleopatra apparently used to bathe, and rose petals, and you're drinking champagne and eating caviar, and you know, it's like there are maidens that come and help you get dressed and wear perfume and a crown on your head. There's just this feeling of opulence, you know, of and I am getting predominantly feminine vibes, okay? So maybe this might not apply to my male viewers. You could be having these kind of conqueror entering the city and being helped or fed or washed by all the servants after having defeated the enemy and conquered the city. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. This is not Mars energy. This is deeply Venusian energy. This is about pleasures. So during daytime hour, you could be repressing a lot of the pleasures, the sexuality, the beauty that you could be having if you were to just allow yourself to flow, right? The Hanged Man. Instead of keeping yourself held up, you could just experience life's pleasure. But no, you decide to repress it, and it blooms like this garden of fantastic desires and pleasures and opulence in your unconscious world, yeah, in your dream time. And now look at this, phenomenal. So you could be dreaming about falling teeth, and I'm looking at the back because there is a description here in German. This is from my deck Traumdeuter. It's absolutely lovely. I adore it. So we have here ausfallende Zähne. Yeah, so it's like teeth that are falling out. You could be dreaming that your teeth are crumbling, and this is usually an indication that you might feel unattractive, or you could be feeling like people don't like you. So you have these anxieties regarding how beautiful you are, how worthy you are. There is a feeling here as well that you could be suffering from some sort of angsty feeling or some sort of fear that you could be losing somebody, yeah? And this person could sustain you financially. So you might be having these dreams of crushing teeth or losing teeth or dropping teeth because you are afraid that in your conscious waking daylight time, you could be losing the person that is nourishing you both food-wise and also financially, materially. So if you're still living with your mother or your parents, or you have a caregiver, you are afraid of losing them. And that's what fallen teeth are representing. Yeah, you're afraid of losing that stability, that nourishment. You're afraid you won't be able to eat any longer. Yeah, so we're going back to that oral fixation. I also hear that you guys should listen to the song or the album by Shakira. She had one called Oral Fixation, right? Anyway, have a listen. Just Google it and you'll be taken where you need to go. And then we also have here Vögel, which talks about, you know, birds. So you could be dreaming about birds swarming, like hitting the window, which is usually a really bad sign that somebody is trying to kind of send you negative energy. So you should watch out for that. Birds hitting windows or trying to kind of like hit you as you're walking down the street or in a public place somewhere, in a park, in a garden. But normally if you see white birds especially, or if birds swarm around you but they don't touch you, this is a sure indication that spirit is there. There is a spirit present, a spirit that wants to talk to you. Now what this card says is that this is usually a very positive sign. If you see one bird or a swarm of birds, it represents freedom and actually joy. So, but it could also represent the constant pursuit of pleasures that is somehow not achieved. It's like you have a lot of desires and you're trying to achieve them, but it's like a bottomless pit of desires. You have to pay attention at what height they are flying, whether they are flying low, close to the earth, or way above your head, or maybe at the same level as you. And you also need to pay attention what kind of birds they are. Are they eagles? Are they sparrows? Are they red cardinals? The color and the type of bird gives you an extra additional meaning, and you can quickly Google that once you wake up, and you can look what is the meaning of eagle as a bird spirit. Yeah. You have to pay attention to your relationships, because there could be some hidden problems in your connections, and birds appearing in your dreams symbolize that. And if you are the bird in the dream, then you find yourself in a situation that you want to get out of, okay? So it could be that you could be trapped in a connection and you want to run away. You will have a dream where you are the bird, yeah? Okay, so sorry about the pause, but I had to read and translate very quickly from German into English. I have here 2 more cards for you, okay? So please stay with me. I know this reading is quite long, but I feel that you guys need to hear these messages, and I'm also super excited about creating this reading, so I hope that you're gonna pick up on this beautiful energy. So we have here flying and falling. I can't believe it. And I'm not looking at the cards when I'm pre-selecting them, but they actually connect so well. It's giving me goosebumps. So again, you could be dreaming of flying. If you're not seeing birds, you are the one flying. Yeah, you could be the bird, you could be flying. I see here this oral fixation, this connection with teeth falling out. There could be also dreams of you being a bird, picking on things, feeding your bird children, yeah? So we have here, what do you need to be free of? Oh, some of you are really stuck in codependent connections. Are you ready to take risks and fly solo? What do you need to feel empowered? So if any of the symbols that you heard in the reading today appear in your dreams, this is about you repressing emotions, being afraid of losing somebody that you are dependent upon for nourishment or financial stability. And it could be that your soul is asking you to individuate and become free and fully self-standing, and that could cause you anxiety. So that's why these things appear in your mind at night, rather than if you were to live them out during daytime. How to solve this? How to stop having these dreams? Separate from a person that you feel like they are enabling a certain lifestyle. If you want to cut an addiction, you need to look at the relationships in your life and what is enabling that addiction. What is keeping you in the belief that you cannot be free and have everything you want, that you cannot have the pleasures that you want? because it's kind of like you're making compromises with yourself during daylight time. You're staying in a situation that's not making you happy, and it's creating all of these other attractions, obsessions, dependencies. So cut the relational codependency, or solve it in a friendly way, because cutting sounds so brutal, right? But solve that connection in a way, and then you will see how the stuff of your dreams is going to change. And this is especially important for those of you that keep having these recurrent sexual erotic dreams of a certain type, or these dreams of falling teeth, or these dreams of birds all the time. You know, whenever you put your head on the pillow, birds appear. Final card I have for you. This card wants to fall on my breasts. Well, we talked about it at the beginning, right? So again, this attraction to the breasts, it's like magnetic. From the magic art of fortune telling, I have a card here for you that could talk about one of your special skills, or some things regarding divination that appear in your dreams. And we have here palmistry, and there is a specific sub branch of palmistry that appeared for you. So palmistry is the art of reading symbols in your hand and figuring out the personality of a person based on whatever their hand lines are showing them, and the size of their fingers, the length, the way the hand looks like. But you got deciphering symbols, and there is something written here on the back. Here are some helpful interpretations when studying the lines on your palm. If you have branches, many branches on a palm, this is an emphasis on strength. Yeah. If you have broken lines, this talks about weaknesses. If you have chains or small loops, this is about straying away from your goals. If you have cross lines, this talks about troubles. If you have islands or large loops, this talks about illnesses or injuries. If you have spots, this talks about a crisis or a bad accident. Squares talk about protection from harm. Stars, good luck. And if you have triangles, psychic gifts, baby. When you start practicing palmistry, write down everything you see. What lines or markings stand out to you? If certain lines are deeper than others. Once you have a clear image of what you see, you'll have an easier time deciphering the meaning. For example, if you see a lot of crosses on your heart line, you may struggle with heartbreak and loneliness during your life. Oh, I hope that you guys don't have that, but now if you do, now you know what they're connected to, so you might come up with solutions to that. If you see triangles in your headline, you might have psychic gifts. Yeah. So do some research, do a bit of digging on palmistry, and get in touch with all the different lines in your palm, and come back to this video and listen again to what these symbols could represent. Yeah. This is the reading that I had for you, my beautiful soulful birds. I am so reminded right now that we talked a lot about birds, and it was actually in the title of the book you have chosen. Phenomenal. Wow. I love this reading so much. I hope you have enjoyed it too. Please take good care of yourself. Let me know down in the comments as this resonated in any way, and I cannot wait to see you in my next pick a card reading. Take care. Hey group 3, welcome to your dream reading. I'm so happy to have you here with me. How are you guys? I really hope you're doing well. So let's find out, what are your dreams trying to tell you? And this reading is for those of you that were drawn to this book, this cover, this title. So you could be a practitioner of the craft of occult knowledge. You could be a divinator, a tarot reader, an astrologer, a spiritual teacher of some sorts. You could be part of my soul family here, because I know I attract a lot of practitioners, and I know a lot of you felt inspired after watching my readings to create your own channels, to create your own practice. So thank you so much for being here. I'm super happy to divinate for you tonight. And I do say tonight because it's so hot in Bucharest where I'm at, that if I were to do this reading during daytime, I would be sweating buckets. So yeah, no bodily fluids allowed. So let's see, I have here the tarot, the mystical dream tarot, but I also have pre-selected a number of oracle cards, which I find very hard to pick from the table right now. And I'm going to show you these oracle cards after I pulled from the tarot deck. As I am live shuffling for you right now, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notifications, because some people have not been notified of the fact that I've been uploading a lot of videos in the last period. Also, make sure that you subscribe and include yourself in my family, so that as we grow and reach milestones, I am able to give you guys free giveaway readings. And also, please comment down below and let me know about your dreams. Do any of the symbols that I will be talking about in this reading for you, do they resonate with what you already have in your mind? If you see somebody in the background, that's my pet, Luna. So let's see the cards that you got. The moon. So this is water sign energy, Pisces and Cancer. I feel like there are a lot of water signs tonight picking up on this pick a card reading. The reading is timeless, but I do feel that I'm filming it with a specific energy, which is the one of the growing new moon in Leo in August. In August already. We are already close to August, but in 2022, in the summer of 2022. Yeah, I have a feeling that this reading will resonate for a lot of you later on in time, maybe. And I heard my stomach growling with hunger, which is weird because I actually nourish myself quite well. There is a feeling here that you could be very hungry in your dreams. And I have a feeling that you could be hungry not only for food, if you know what I mean. A lot of you are actually having quite deep, dark, sexual fantasies at nighttime. You could be kind of like haunted by certain very powerful sexual dreams. We have the Lovers next to the moon. This talks about deep sensuality, connecting with a partner in the 5D, making love, sending them sexual energy. This also talks about making love to a person from your deep past. So maybe reconnecting with a soulmate from a past life in your dreams and exchanging powerful sexual energy. You could be having weird dreams where your body suffers certain changes, like your body could be made of gum or like a very flexible material. I feel like you could stretch it and bend it in almost like acrobatic, athletic, artistic ways. You might not be an athletic person in your daylight waking hours, but at nighttime, it's like you're able to do fantastic feats of agility, athleticism, almost like a gymnast, you know, in the bedroom with your person. So you could be imagining yourself having sex in environments that are public, in nature, in these beautiful landscapes. You could even fantasize about having sex on other planets, on the moon, on Mars, Venus, Neptune, in water as well. There could be some Atlantean connection, you know, Atlantis. You could be dreaming about houses that are overwhelmed and flooded with water. The basement of a house is flooded with water. Rooms in a house are flooded with water. You and your person are making love in water, and there is a moonlit sky. You could imagine that you are a mermaid or a siren, that there is a merman that makes love to you. I'm also getting, for some of you, you could be having some sort of like hentai fantasies with octopuses, you know. I'm not going to get too much into that, you know, because I'm trying to keep this relatively PG, although I think I need to slap the 18+ one on top of it, because we are talking a lot about sexuality in this reading, and of course we're talking about the unconscious, so it's inevitable that we will go there too. But with the moon and the Lovers, let me hold it like this so you can see the cards better. These fantasies that you're having, they're not just athletic and acrobatic, but they're also deeply romantic. I feel like you guys are repressing in your normal waking hours how sexual, filled with fantasy and imagination, and how romantic you are. You guys are like these people that could wine and dine your partners and bring a fantasy from the ether and create it for them in front of their eyes. but you're not actually doing this for some reason. Maybe you want to look cool. Maybe you think that it's better to be sarcastic and ironic and stay away from this kind of energy. Maybe you don't have a partner at the moment in your life. You're in between relationships. You're just playing it cool on your own for a while. And all of this energy is being played out in your unconscious mind because you're repressing it during daylight hours. So it's still there, it's still part of you, but you're trying not to think about it, or you parked it someplace else because you have to do other things, and then it bubbles up at nighttime. So yeah, you are my pile that has these phenomenally romantic sexual fantasies. They can be weird sometimes as well. They can get quite strange, but I see here the sun and the moon. This also talks about the mother and the father, you craving to become a parent, you wanting to have a house and settle down with somebody and no longer just flow on this wave of life, but anchor yourself down into a structure. Yeah, we have here water and earth. So we have here the energies of fertility, because when water is splashed, when earth is splashed by water, it allows things to grow from it. And then water also needs the solidity of earth. So I'm kind of picking up on the energy of the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, or the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Yeah, really, really beautiful energy. Very dreamy, you know. I also have here the Lord of Wands. This is Lord Ganesh. And we have here the serpent. It could be the serpent from, Ouroboros, the serpent of life, the cosmic serpent that eats its own tail and talks about infinity, cycles, when something ends, something else begins, life and death, alpha and omega, beginning and end, cyclical energy. What we perceive as separate seasons, what we perceive as the different ages of man, they're actually all part of a whole, but our minds like to categorize and organize reality in order for us to understand it better, but everything is actually kind of messy and beautifully connected on its own accord. And Lord Ganesh here is the remover of obstacles. So I feel that in your dreams, you are bursting forth through all of the limitations that you're experiencing in your normal waking hours. So let's say that you're somehow blocked from having a fulfilling, meaningful, intimate connection with somebody. At nighttime, that limitation is removed and you are hot and passionate and almost like Goddess Isis in terms of your powers of turning somebody on and bringing them back up to life with the power of the orgasms that you're giving them, or the orgasms that they're giving to you. I see here the snake, and the snake is a highly sexual, sensual, and healing energy. So I feel like your fantasies are healing you. They're giving life force and life energy back to you. If you are having a really boring job, maybe you need to introduce data, or you just have to sit in front of the computer staring at the screen. You see the same kind of individuals every day. You have a relatively safe and working but kind of boring routine. At nighttime, it's like this rich world of fantasies that is kind of I feel like you're just removing all the blocks, and you get to be free in your sexual expression, and you get to, for example, you might even have had a dream where you were having sex with a coworker on the desk at which you would usually work at, you know. So there is this beautiful energy here of breaking free, removing limitations. Some of you could be fantasizing about same-sex individuals. You could be a little bit in the closet or very much in the closet. You're keeping this a secret. So at nighttime, you just have these passionate, romantic, wild fantasies of, wow, I just want to take our connection or the connection with the member of a group that is still considered to be taboo, and just have public sex and just kind of declare my love and desire for this individual, for the fact that I am unique in my taste, or there's nothing to be ashamed of who I am. That's kind of the energy I'm picking up on. Like, you want to tell the world there's nothing shameful in who I desire and what I desire. Yeah. So you're quite free in your expression. There's a lot of romance. I'm kind of getting like Libra 12th house, Sagittarius 12th house as well, Taurus 12th house, yeah, that's kind of Leo as well, potentially, and Cancer, minor key. We have here Gemini as well, so Gemini could talk about this duality, you know, Clark Kent, right, and Superman. Yeah, there's kind of this energy of being like a geeky person in your conscious awareness during your daytime hours, and being kind of more like this vigilante or bad girl, bad boy kind of superhero energy at nighttime, being able to fly and being able to levitate and having telekinesis powers and being able to bend things to your will, and you know, like there is no spoon, like that thing in Matrix, right? What we perceive to be the stuff of reality is just a projection of our minds. It's Maya, the great Buddhist illusion. The idea of us being separate from everything that we can be. So there is something here. Yeah, I feel that some of you already fell asleep. I'm kind of getting this energy of somebody falling asleep, or of somebody being very soothed by this energy. I see here with the pink elephant, it's kind of like, let's talk about the pink elephant in the room. You fantasize about having outrageous conversations with people around you, maybe because a lot of you are silenced. That's why I felt silent. You're silenced by the community around you. You feel that, well, the idea of freedom of speech sounds beautiful. See, I'm kind of tripping over my words. I already can feel the energy kind of draining. The idea of freedom of speech sounds beautiful, but it's like you're not actually allowed to practice it. You're silenced, or you're afraid of being cancelled, I'm hearing. You're afraid of being criticized or shut down, or kind of blocked, or somehow ostracized by the members in your community, by the people that you talk to at work, by your family, friends. There's just this feeling of you're a bit of a trickster, and you learn to become a trickster because you found out that if you joke around, or if you don't say what you mean, you can actually get away sometimes with saying outrageous truths. But these conversations and these truths that you're stifling in your waking hours pop up as really interesting symbols in your dreams. So let's see what these symbols are. First of all, phenomenal, because we have here your guide in your dreams is Fanuel, the angel of truth and the keeper of the book of life. So encyclopedic knowledge, you're incredibly smart. I feel the energy of an introvert that is trying to act like an extrovert, that is trying to be the life of the party, because it's kind of like you were educated to walk against or to behave against your nature. So I'm also getting Gemini and Sagittarius energy very strong, the axis, because they're opposite signs on the zodiac wheel. So this talks about the conflict between a superficial mind and a deep mind that seeks the truth and nothing but the truth. A mind that understands a variety of different opinions and is able to understand that there is no such thing as the objective truth, but that there are many varieties of truth that create reality as a social construction. Yeah? While the other side, the Sagittarius side, is I'm going to sift through all of the knowledge that exists out there and reach a core universal truth. So it's kind of this dichotomy between what is the truth, what is the essence of life, and well, there isn't such a thing, so we might as well just have fun and play around and just deconstruct things all the time. You could be fascinated by the philosophy of Derrida. Yeah, anyway, I'm kind of getting a lot of cultural influences, and I don't know if I should actually keep banging on with them. But let's come back to Fanuel and the angel of truth. And I see very clearly here that he lights up, or it lights up. We shouldn't gender angels because they have no gender. It lights up a flame that is blue and light green, so it's not fiery, it's not passionate. So this is about the cool energy of the mind. This is about cool, calm, collected, fact-based knowledge. And it's also in the position of a lotus, meditating. You guys are kind of mystical, I have to say. There's this strong contradiction that I'm picking up here between you maybe being quite emotional and kind of I don't mean to insult you or say something, but some people would say sometimes that you're a little bit bratty with how you express your emotions, which I'm sure that you're not. It's just how other people perceive you. And then at nighttime, it's like you're this really deep thinker, and you carry these wonderful conversations with people that it's kind of like you might imagine having a conversation with a philosopher or with a psychologist or with a movie director, a cartoon developer, and even like elements from cartoons or from movies, like Tony Stark's, right? Or Iron Man, or like Rick and Morty. You know, I'm kind of picking up SpongeBob, you know. You're kind of having these really deep conversations with cartoon elements, you know. Daenerys Targaryen, that's what I'm hearing again. So maybe you're fascinated with these characters, and at nighttime, what seems superficial and light and flimsy, or as you wanted to portray it in this way, it appears in your dreams as this really deep conversations about light and truth and death and where are we here and the meaning of existence. You have these existentialist discourses with cartoon and film characters, sometimes characters from games. This is what I'm trying to say in a very convoluted way. Let's see, the next cards that I have here, such surprising messages. I'm having a bit of a hard time in your group kind of diluting them, also because you're my last group, so my energy tends to ebb and flow with my last group. But look, look at what we have here. You guys are so original. So we have here, this card is from the Traumdeuter, which is this collection of cards about dreams in German. So I have here a text in German, and it says here, außerirdische Roboter. So you're dreaming about robots, you're dreaming about aliens, UFOs, extraterrestrial objects, yeah, paranormal activities. You could be fascinated with the X-Files, right? The Zone. I'm hearing, I feel Arrival was one of your favorite movies. There's just this fascination with what is out there, right? Go where no man has gone before. Star Trek, right? Star Wars, anything that has to do with taking you out of the realm in which you find yourself, the earth in which you find yourself. Yeah, I'm hearing Oryx and Crake. Yeah, so you are a consumer of sci-fi novels. That's a novel by Margaret Atwood. There is a feeling here that if you're dreaming about aliens and robots, you're trying to manifest a wish that is very hard for you to bring into being in reality. And that's why it seems foreign to you. It seems alien, and it appears in your dream as an actual alien. Now, I feel like you guys also have the gift of forecast. You need to pay attention to your dreams because many times they foretell what is coming up next in your life. And you know that you had a dream that is, okay, bear with me with this one because I'm trying to explain how deja vus creep up in your reality. You could be having these sudden moments, these prescient moments in reality in waking hours. You're sitting around the table with your family and friends, you're at work, and all of a sudden you get this strong feeling of, oh my god, I lived through this. I know this room, I had this conversation again. Where did I have it from? From a dream you can't remember, because you can dream about the future. You know what's coming up next. I don't think that you guys can see so far into the future, like in terms of years. I think it's more like days, weeks, maximum months. Yeah. So in your dreams, your mind travels so fast that it can actually prognosticate what is going to happen in the next days and weeks potentially. And when you wake up, you might not remember that dream. you have an eerie feeling that you dreamt a lot, and then you go about your daily living and you encounter something and boom, deja vu, and all the hairs on your hands start rising up, or you get like that spinal cord reaction. It's like, whoa, I have experienced this before. Where is it coming from? Your mind, your gift of foresight. Yeah, you could be oracles, Pluto and Sagittarius. That's my generation, born between 1995 and 2007. Okay, dreams about robots can give you a warning. I'm sorry, I'm reading this in German and I'm trying to translate it in English as quick as I can. So dreams about robots are bringing you a warning, and you need to take this into account. You're afraid of losing your individuality. You could be doing something so meaningless in your day job, or you could be having a connection, a relationship with somebody that is just so boring that you feel like, I've been struggling too much to fit in, too much, like I'm trying to conform too much. So it's like you're feeling like you're becoming robotized, yeah? Or you have to control your emotions very strongly during the day, and you have to put this facade of, I'm such a rational individual, and at nighttime it's kind of like this fear comes up in the image of the robot that's chasing you. You could feel like you're a robot, you could see yourself as a robot in a dream, or you could be fighting robots, which is you fighting against this problem of losing your individuality. You're trying to actually gain back your authenticity, your soul, your emotions. You're fighting against losing them, yeah? So there is something here about an important message being delivered, especially through this image of the robot. The aliens actually carry this more extra paranormal energy of a wish that you're trying to bring forth into reality, but it's hard for you to put it into being. So I would see this as a person that is conforming too strongly, is afraid of becoming robotized or mechanized, and wants to break out of the current confining reality, a boring career, a boring relationship, a repetitive situation, a daily routine that is like, oh, draining the life out of you, and you want to break out of it. Okay, so almost like an alien, you're trying to escape to another planet, but you're afraid of making that leap. So that's why you dream of aliens and you dream of robots at nighttime. During daytime, you might feel like you have to carry on with superficial chit-chat and repeating the same kind of things. And at nighttime, you're having these wonderful, deep, meaningful conversations about philosophy, art, culture. And you're guided by Archangel Phanuel to feel the truth, say the truth, speak the truth, be authentic, yeah? And then, of course, we have here sex. The other side of you is your lust. You're not using your lust properly during your daytime. So you're dreaming a lot about sexual energy exchanges. And we have here if you dream of being turned on, if you dream of being stimulated, it's a lot about you desiring to have more adventure in your life, something passionate to happen to you, something more sensual, something that gets you in touch with your body, right? Or you're just trying to find out something new in your life, yeah? So maybe you're dreaming about having sex in a variety of different positions because you need a shake-up in your daily routine. You might not actually want to have sex with the person you fantasize about in your dreams, but it's just a way to get out of your routine. Sex is thrilling and passionate and adventurous, especially if you don't get enough of it during your daytime hours, right? So there's this energy of, I want to do something that can break me out of my rut, yeah? So try not to freak out if you have a dream about having sex with somebody that feels taboo. It's just a way of you needing to truly act more on your lust, act more on your desire during your conscious daytime, not repress it so much, yeah? Now, we also have here focus. So another thing that might appear in your dreams is maybe people passionately staring at you, or you going through certain exercises that push you into focusing. So I'm kind of seeing this image of somebody participating in a game show where you're being asked questions, and it's like the host of the game show is looking at you and it's like, what will be your answer? You know, $1 million hang on this question. Will you win it? And you've got like a variety of options, and you get the option to call a friend, or, you know, kind of use some of your credits. So what's going to happen, right? You need to focus, you need to use your mental capacity, but there's a lot of emotional risk. So again, there's that dichotomy between your feelings and your mind that comes into play in the world of your dreams. And this could be appearing or visually appearing in the shape and form of you having to take an exam, you having to quickly come up with an answer in front of a firing squad, you being on a game show and the whole world is watching, and what will be your answer? You could be afraid of failure, you could be afraid of public humiliation for not being clever enough. So all of these fears come up to the surface in your unconscious processing time, in your dreams, in order for you to kind of like feel them a little bit. But the best way in order to overcome a fear is to become conscious of it and then take active steps in your waking hours to overcome it. So I would suggest a dream diary, dream journaling would work phenomenal for you in helping you identify what are you afraid of, unblocking that fear by overcoming it in your daylight hours, and connecting your mind to your heart through this process of becoming aware of your fears and facing them. This is also going to build a lot of inner strength and emotional maturity. Yeah. So we have here for enlightenment, stay in the moment, chop wood, carry water, avoid distraction, meditate, bring unresolved issues into view. You could be distracting yourself with social media, with entertaining TikTok clips, with news about celebrities, because your life seems bland and boring by comparison, but you actually have control over it. If you just decide to focus on identifying your fears, tracking them down, and on taking steps each day, baby steps, you know, towards facing them, your life can be turned on its head, and you could have a life as exciting as that of the people that you envy on social media, or that you maybe not envy, but there is a sense here of jealousy with these green eyes. Yeah, it could be just an admiration. It's like, what a nice life, I want to be like them, you know. It doesn't have to be malignant. Okay, so, or malignant, malicious. I think tumors are malignant. Yeah. Now, we have here beauty, grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit. Some of you struggle with seeing yourself as beautiful. So I feel like your inner critic is very strong. And during daytime, you could be constantly, you know, focusing on, oh, my skin is not so good. Oh, my nose is too big. Oh, my hair is lackluster. And at nighttime, this image of you being incredibly sensual and fit and healthy and athletic could pop up in these scenarios of having sex, right? So this beautiful romantic energy that we saw here at the beginning, having sex in a palace or in a garden full of fragrant, exotic roses or plants, or in some sort of like 1001 Arabian Nights kind of scenery, you know, an oasis, a tropical oasis on a desert island, you know, surrounded by flowers, corals, beautiful, beautiful scenery, right? But I mean, you could definitely bring this dream into being if you were to book a ticket to Bali, right? And take a hot friend with you. Yeah, so there is this energy that you can act on. It's not something that is always prohibited from you. And I think this talks about you having a lot more confidence in your dreams than you have in your daytime hour. Now, I also have here big picture thinking, and this is the card. The keywords are Pleiades energy, visionary, and inspired ideas. The Pleiades are considered some of the most beautiful stars in the night sky, one of the most beautiful constellations. I think it's called the Seven Sisters as well, and it is connected as well. And actually in August we have the Pleiades. It's the shower each August. So they should be happening right about now if you're watching this reading at the time at which I'm publishing it. If not, wait for it. The corresponding August from the moment when you actually see this. And this is for the northern hemisphere only. I'm sorry guys, I am a bit hemisphere centric because I tend to be biased because I live in the northern hemisphere, but this is for those of you in the northern hemisphere. In August we have the shower of Pleiades, the brightest constellation in the night sky, the Seven Sisters, Seven Muses, arts. I'm hearing Calliope here as well. Maybe somebody's name is Calliope. And I see here the night sky reflected into a watery surface. Spending more time looking at yourself in the mirror and actually seeing yourself for how beautiful you are, so that this beauty will stop being repressed and just be the fabric of your dreams. It actually becomes your reality. The final card I have for you, because I'm already aware of the time, I'm sorry for keeping you so long. Clairvoyance, from the magic card of fortune telling. This is the special skill that arrived for you, and the subcategory in clairvoyance is your wonderful capacity at interpreting symbols. So I think you already know a lot of the things that I've been talking to you here about. Maybe you're here just to double check some things, because I did say that you guys are my divinators, yeah? Unfortunately, visions are not always clear. The universe will often offer them in the form of symbols and have us try to figure them out. This tricky universe, it has a sense of humor and is intelligent. For example, dreaming about an apple may mean something more significant than just eating an apple. If you see a certain number or a particular color appearing everywhere you go, it may be the universe trying to drop you a hint. Here are some important clairvoyant symbols. If you see a black cat, psychic powers. If you see a butterfly, new beginnings. If you see coins, money is coming your way. Feathers, you are watched over by a guardian angel. Horse, you're going to travel untamed emotions. Particular scent, a spirit is nearby. Also changes in temperature. If you walk in heat and all of a sudden there's like a cool thing next to you and it's not a refrigerator, there's a spirit nearby, my love. Rabbit, success and pregnancy. And then we have repeating numbers. Your struggles will soon be over. It's important to remember to use your own personal interpretation when reading symbols, as they are being directed at you. If you keep seeing 3s everywhere and 3 is your lucky number, you might expect good fortune then. This is the reading I had for you, group 3. Thank you for staying so long with me. These readings took longer than I expected, but I had so much fun doing them. I hope that they resonate with you. Please comment down below and let me know, what do you see in your dreams? Has this resonated in any way? I hope to see you in my next one. Take care of yourself and happy dreams. Sleep well in the meantime.